Hello everybody, Esmee here. My hair is still wet, still just came out of the shower, but there's just another thing that I really need to talk about. Like, how interesting is it that we can totally control our feelings, like emotions? And I'm saying it in like the wrong way right now because it's not our feelings, it's just feelings. And it's about Vipassana meditation that I am very interested in, like mindfulness. Because if you learn to see things separate, you learn to think in a way of like it's the mind and it's feelings. Instead of like always connecting yourself, it's my feelings, it's my brain, it's my mind. Because in that way, you always think you're responsible for everything that you're thinking and that you can always change it, that you're like always. No, like if you see it more as like there is an emotion and there is a mind and there is a person, it becomes way easier to kind of like control it in a way of, like, for instance, when somebody says something that annoys me and I notice, oh, annoyance. And I can look at this feeling like, oh, annoyance. That's happening right now. I can actually like take a step back, have like a helicopter view on this annoyance, and all of a sudden, annoyance disappears because I'm disconnected with this feeling of annoyance. Or what could happen is I could observe it. I could observe this annoyance and like, oh, I could see what caused this annoyance without diving into the story. So this is about Vipassana meditation. Um, I have been in, while I was traveling through Thailand, I went to a monastery and I stayed there for 10 days in silence. So being in silence was a choice. I did it for 4 days. Then I broke my silence. But it was so interesting. There's things that I learned from the monks there about silence, about Vipassana meditation, about mindfulness, about Buddha. And yeah, our teacher was a monk, and he was also a philosopher teacher, and he was very wise. And just the way he explained things was so interesting because in day-to-day life, there is so much happening. There is so many things, like people are multitasking and like this and that and this and that and this and that. And you're not like actually aware of what is happening. I mean, don't you get that sometimes? That at least I get that, where I'm just realizing like, oh, how did I ride my bike from here to here? How did I just arrive here? Because I got lost in thought. Or you get so stuck in swiping videos or fixing stuff on your laptop and you're like doing admin, and all of a sudden it's like hours later and you're also like listening to the song and da 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 da. You're not like actually like aware. What if, like, for me it really helps if I try to be more mindful of what is happening, what is happening around me, what is happening with my emotions, because I can be such a sensitive person. I can be such a highly emotional, sensitive person. And one of my, how would you say, one of my more difficult traits to manage myself is that I can take things personal very easily. And I know that about myself. But this being in this Buddhism place and learning about Vipassana meditation, it does really help with this because I can spot what is happening more and I can take this helicopter view. So, for instance, somebody says something and I feel, oh, sadness. And I can look at sadness with a helicopter view and I can be like, oh, that's there. And it's not that I'm trying to get rid of this feeling. This feeling can have their moment, it can have their place. I'm just looking at sadness and it's okay. And sadness kind of disappears. I don't dive into the story so much. It just it just leaves and I'm like okay with it because I'm like accepting of that feeling that just happens. I'm not like forcing any change upon myself, and I think that really works. And another thing, like you can also use insight meditation. Like you can even be like, the sadness happens, and you can observe. You can take a step back and you can choose, okay, right now I want to learn something about this. I want this to be insightful. So you can be like, okay, where did this come from? And maybe you can have a think about it, but you choose about that. You make the choice to think about it. Maybe even in like a later moment, or you choose to observe to see when do these moments appear? When do I feel this sadness? When does it happen? Is there a reason that it happens all the time? And to just be like okay with everything and to just see it happening, because for me, I know that I'm always trying to be like self-growth and changing and learning, and that's great, but sometimes you can also, at least I can get stuck in this whole self-growth thing and like always expecting the world of myself, and like that's where the perfectionist in me kind of like pops back up. I'm always trying to do everything in the best way and like read self-help books and da 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 da, but it can be exhausting because nobody's ever going to be perfect. I'm not going to be perfect. And that's not what it is about. It's really about just learning to be able to be okay in the moment, learning to be okay with everything, basically, to just accept that that's life, and to really, yeah, I don't know, like just saying it right now makes me feel like okay. And then there's another belief that I have is that I do trust in the universe, and sometimes I forget about this, and I'm trying to be controlling, trying to control everything that happens to me and in my life. And of course, some things you can control, but a lot of things, it's super tiring if you're always trying to control everything. It is. So, yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm learning to let go. And yeah, this video may be continued because right now I feel like I don't have anything more to say about it. It feels like if I say more about it now, it's just going to be forced. But I've got so many ideas and but for now it's okay. For now I feel done, and that's good. So have a great day right now. I hope you feel happy and peaceful within your heart. I don't know where that just came from, but yay, sparkles and butterflies.